Pondcom.
Pondcom.
Oh my gosh.
This with it's each
You got it.
Help me out here. Sorry. I'm loading here. Hold on.
I'm loading.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. I'm Blair.
And I'm Kirsten, and we are
Mediocre content.
We did it pretty good, just with the weird pause in between.
Yeah.
It's fine. How are you?
Good. Just
Vibing.
doing life.
Yeah.
Doing life. What about you?
Yeah, still vibing, still doing good. Just getting through another weekend. It's hopefully going to be less hectic this week because we don't have anything next weekend, so it'll be nice.
That'll be very nice.
Yeah.
I can see Lynx in the background. He's so cute.
He's sitting on a box of stationery, so he's very ready to write a paper, do scrapbooking, what other dude cats do,
Sure.
Just the life.
Totally.
He's very ready.
Totes adorbs. We love that he's ready.
Where are your babies? They're usually with you, aren't they?
So Jinx is underneath the guest room comforter because he likes to bury himself.
Nice.
Under there. So I walked past and I knew he was there because I saw a little lump in the comforter. It was very nice. And then I think Salem is downstairs in his bed napping because it's like 2:30 my time. So yeah. I think it's nap time for them.
Didn't I tell you about Cougar who scared us that one time because she figured out how to get under the comforter and we thought we lost her for like hours?
Oh my god.
Yeah, so we didn't know that she managed to do this. I forget why we were looking for her. I can't remember if we were trying to like load her into the crate and she was just like not having it, but there was some reason that we were looking for her. My heart was pounding, and this is at my grandparents' house, so I couldn't find her. And then I go up to my room, I'm like, I'm just gonna check under the bed one more time, and as I get closer I see the comforter breathing. And I was like, I got you. There you are. You scared the crap out of me. She's so talented for such a chunky cat.
Oh my god. That is Jinx, when he was a little kitten.
Yeah.
Chris was underway on the ship and I was looking for the cats just to kind of get like an idea of where they were in the apartment.
Yeah.
We were living in a 2-bedroom apartment at the time. And Jinx, I couldn't find him. I had no idea. He wasn't under the bed where he normally is. Yeah. He wasn't anywhere
where you would expect him
fridge.
To be. Right.
Like I checked behind the washer, behind the fridge, like any little place that he could have like tucked himself away. And he was in the fabric of the box spring. There was like a small little hole.
Yes.
And he like got into the box spring. And
brilliant.
But I was freaking out. I tore the apartment apart. I called Caroline and I like couldn't. She was like, I don't know what to do.
Right.
I'm like, well, think of places for me to look because I can't find him. And I'm like, if I had opened and I like had opened the door earlier that day to like go take the trash out or whatever, and I was like, oh my god, if I have lost this cat right when we first got him, he's gonna be so upset when he comes back.
They are such little Houdinis. Like they can get in some weird spaces.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. I wish I had remembered that during our cat episode.
I know.
Oh my gosh, I had so many things just like come to mind. I was like, dang it, I guess we're gonna have a part 2 of the catastrophe podcast.
Probably. There's always good content.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's just like on the daily, I would say.
Yeah.
It's always something.
For sure.
Yeah. Do you want to jump into some good news and maybe a disclaimer or two?
Yeah, so we'll go through the disclaimer. We're not experts on anything, especially today, which we'll get into the topic in a little bit. Yes. And if you've come to the podcast to get any kind of advice, we're not the place for that, especially today. We're not the place for that.
Certainly not.
Life advice here. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
But we are the place to learn about things you may not have learned about elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And we encourage you guys to do your own research as
Yes.
always.
Yes. Always good.
So yeah, with that, Kirsten, take it away to the good news segment.
Okay, so we're going to talk about potatoes.
I love
Um,
potatoes.
First of all, delicious in any form. But specifically potatoes and their work against superbugs, which you might find fun being in the nursing world.
Yeah.
So the problem that we're seeing right now, at least over the last few years, is we're creating what they call superbugs. So basically, these bacteria that are just super over antibiotics and they
So
can't.
these are not bugs with a cape, is what you're telling me.
I haven't seen any bugs with a cape, so I'm gonna assume they're bacteria with a cape.
So it's not Superman and Batman in bug form.
No, this is not Ant-Man either, so don't
Okay,
even go
there that was a better joke.
No.
That was a better joke.
We are not talking about Ant-Man. I don't know anything about comics. Technically, ants aren't even bugs, so we can't even go down that trail.
We're not right now.
No, not getting into it. Anyway, these are bacteria. But the majority of therapeutic antibiotics that we have can be found in soil microbes, if I could
Yes.
speak. So most of what we're creating with antibiotics and stuff is found in the soil. But there's a research team in Europe that did a little bit of experimenting with a compound called solanamycin. Hopefully I'm saying that right.
It
But it is
sounds like you're
yeah,
saying it right. I think so.
it's pretty, if anything, it's pretty close.
Yeah.
But it's a plant-based microorganism, and it can combat multiple types of funguses. And so with this discovery, they wanted to move more into the potential for plant options as opposed to just soil microbiomes and things like that. Um,
Cool.
and basically, it can fight against the microbes that are currently causing these superbugs in humans. So they did a few tests. They've been working on it with a different type of bacterium, and this particular one is found in potatoes. So they were able to do a few tests, currently researching and replicating to see if they turn certain things on and off for this, how it can be used. But currently, it's only seen and accessible within the potato itself. So they're trying to
Nice.
figure out how to move that into a human environment and do some testing with that, which
Sure.
is really great because it can be a really severe problem for people who are now antibiotic resistant because of the bacteria that
Yeah.
makes them sick. So this would be really great to find something that could kind of ease our minds with the super bacteria
Yeah.
going on.
So, listener, if you're not familiar with antibiotic resistant bacteria, a really
Yeah.
common one that we see a lot is MRSA.
Yes.
Um,
Very severe.
and yeah, so this will definitely help with combating
Right.
that in a healthcare setting, which is cool. And then
Yes.
yeah, so yeah, I was gonna say something else and I can't remember what it is now, but it was gonna be like kind of funny, but I'll think about it later. It'll
If
be
you just
I was just gonna say, I remember now. I was just
got
gonna
it.
say, um, I really I feel like potatoes again are underappreciated.
They really
And
are.
because they're so good and they come in
Yes.
multiple different forms, all of which are super good. And
Right.
now they're
Yes. Saving
becoming
the world.
medicine and saving the
Literally
world.
saving the world. They should be the ones in the cape.
Right. Super potatoes.
And you know what's interesting too? I'm sure that there are other experiments and things that have gone into potential plants for medicines. Obviously, the world has been revolving around these things, but it's interesting to me that it started in the soil and not with the thing also that it can create. Like those ideas were completely separate for some reason when dealing with this problem.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad that they're kind of breaking out and looking at other potentials that can, you know, make people feel healthy
Yeah,
and be
absolutely.
healthy. So that's exciting news for the potato and for us. Win-win. Also a win-win, I would say, is Australia. So our second piece of good news has to do with something going on in Australia called Australia Against Extinction. And basically, officials there have committed to preserve 30% of the continent's landmass so that they can revert back to their natural state and really work on conservation projects for the different plants and animal species that live there, particularly ones that are kind of on the endangered species list and really headed towards extinction. Their environmental minister is Tanya Plibersek. Hopefully, I'm saying there's lots of difficult words in the good news this week.
Yeah.
And names. But they're beginning the conservation titled Threatened Species Action Plan towards Zero Extinctions, prioritizing 110 species and 20 places that are considered threatened with the plants and animals that live there. And it's important to note that out of all of the areas that we have, Australia is one of the most biologically diverse countries. So
Yes.
it's really important to focus where, you know, you're seeing that biodiversity decline a lot, and it has declined a lot, of course, due to multiple factors, but humans do contribute. And so by sectioning off this land, they're going to be able to do a lot of good work there. And I think they said it was a plan worth, what is it, 224 million Australian dollars, which is about 146 million US dollars for this
Nice.
project. So
Nice.
it's good stuff.
Yeah. And it looks like, based on what you have written here, these animals aren't found anywhere else on Earth. So
No,
it's good that
exactly.
we're working to preserve them, because
Yes.
otherwise they would really be
They'd be in
super
trouble.
extinct. Yeah.
Yeah. And we've experienced that even in our lifetime. I know that there have been certain animals and even different plant systems that have become extinct over the years. So it's nice that we're prioritizing those and like putting forth plans to make sure that isn't happening on the daily.
I agree. I agree. Also, I feel like with these first two stories,
Yeah.
our biology is showing. Like,
don't expose me like that.
It's clear that we're educated in the sciences.
I may or may not have a preference for the sciences. I gravitate to them.
So
Can't
anyway,
help it. Yeah, I'm into it. What can I say?
Yeah, I like it. I'm
well,
here
just
for it.
I mean, to further it more, our final piece of good news is still kind of on the same trek, I would say.
Awesome.
So I think we've talked about this in another podcast, but obviously everyone is aware of Hurricane Ian that came through Fort Myers in Florida. It devastated many communities, and they're still recovering even now, I'm sure. Lots of work going into that. But there was one particular town, which is about 20 miles from Fort Myers, so not really that far. They were involved in the height of the hurricane as well. It's called Babcock Ranch, and it has 4,600 residents ish. Basically, this particular town is known as the storm resilient town. They are 100% solar powered. They create solar power, they have native flora, they have specific code construction for the housing and for the buildings that are there in this one town. And it's essentially meant to completely prevent catastrophic damage and power loss to the town in the case of really severe weather.
Interesting.
Basically, Ian became their form of a flight test for this town, and it excelled brilliantly. I was amazed.
So they didn't lose power.
They did not lose power. So they did not lose power the whole time. They still had resources. They still had running water. It's amazing that this town stood through this like massive storm that did extreme damage to pretty much everywhere else. So
yeah,
the specifics for the town that they claim set it apart and made this so successful, right? They're built around 25 feet higher on average than the surrounding communities. So, of course, that has to do with storm surge coming through. So that's a big one. They also have their own wastewater plant and water system. It goes deep into underground aquifers. So that means the water can't be contaminated, or at least it's harder for that to happen. So also great.
Yes.
And then, like I mentioned, solar power is one of their big things. So they have 700 solar panels owned by Florida Power and Light. They provide power to every home. So that's electricity. It covers over 900 acres-ish.
Nice.
And they sustained minimal damage from the panels themselves. So they were still functioning at almost 100% capacity. And outside of like a fence or two that may have toppled, the town was safe.
Wow.
So it's just amazing. And obviously, that's really easy to do on this kind of scale. I mean,
Sure.
it's not like the state of Florida, you know?
Right. Right.
And so realistically, a project that massive in areas that could benefit from that would be very costly, but clearly the payoff potentially is there for residents
Yeah.
experiencing that. So good news
That
is
is
that it
so
passed its
cool.
flight test. So
Yeah. Oh
yeah,
my
it's
gosh.
great. Yeah.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah.
Solutions to problems. We love
Well,
it.
and the thing is, too, that means that those people already had resources to give back to the community members that lost
That lost
everything.
power. Yeah,
And
exactly.
so that's the biggest piece there was a section that could provide assistance in a situation that was very dire.
Well, and they were already in the middle of the area, right?
Yes.
Like they didn't have to
Yes.
come from anywhere. There was no
Exactly.
delay. Yeah.
Exactly. And so even I imagine even if they had like satellite towns similar to this, but not like again, it's probably quite costly, but even if they had certain areas around hard hit spots for hurricanes, it could benefit, to have that
Yeah.
help literally right there.
Or even like the Red Cross or
Yes.
something like that could fund
Yes.
these little
Yes.
encampments and then like staff
Yes.
them for these kinds
Exactly.
of things. That would be cool. That's
So
really
much
fun.
potential. So,
Yeah.
good news for the state of Florida. Go Florida.
Uh, uh,
Florida man did not strike during this
that
this one.
I thought it was going to be a Florida man story.
That would be funny. I don't know that that's always good news, to be
No,
fair.
no, entertaining news though.
Yes, very entertaining. So, but yeah, that's all I got for good news. So I guess we're ready to see what you got for us today. I'm
Okay.
excited.
So, if you can't tell from the title, our topic this week is going to be astrology.
Facts.
And I just want to preface this by saying that there's so many different facets and so much information that comes
Yes.
into astrology that it's so hard to like condense it down to like an hour episode.
Yes.
So we might do a part 2 depending on
Mm-hmm.
how we
Mm-hmm.
feel about this one.
Yes.
So this is going to be kind of like a general overview of astrology, and then we're going to do some fun like memes, and we're going to read our star
Mm-hmm.
charts and all that stuff, our birth charts.
So cute.
So yeah, so let's get started. So
Yeah.
astrology, first of all, is a form of divination. We all know what divination is. If you've seen Harry Potter, you know what
Spooky.
divination is. Professor Trelawney, you know.
She's amazing.
Yes.
Iconic.
So it consists of interpreting the influence of the stars and planets on earthly affairs and human destinies.
Nice. Sounds so
Yes.
dreamy and whimsical.
I know. So fun. So this has been going on since ancient times. And
Yes.
if you think about it, it kind of makes sense because there was no real like science or like
Mm.
scientific discoveries. They were still very much
Mm-hmm.
on the cusp of all that stuff. They still thought the earth was the center of the universe and all that. So which I mean honestly is very Leo of them.
Or very Leo of you, maybe.
Well, it originated in Mesopotamia in the 3rd millennium.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And spread to India. And it was developed in the Western form by the Greek civilization in the Hellenistic period.
Okay.
Now, that's a lot of words. I'm not 100% sure like how to explain all of those words, but
Yeah.
I mean, basically the Greeks were the ones who kind of pioneered and made astrology like what we know of it today. Yeah.
Makes sense.
So, astrology entered the Islamic culture as part of the Greek tradition and was returned to the European culture through Arabic learning during the Middle Ages. So I think there was a lot of culture swapping going on during that time. And I think a lot of like Indian and Mediterranean and Islamic cultures still have like a prominent reliance on astrological signs and influence on everyday life and like major life events. It's a huge part of a lot of people's culture, even from back then. According to the Greek tradition, the heavens are divided according to 12 constellations of the zodiac, aka the zodiac signs we have today. The constellations and the bright stars that rise at intervals cast a spiritual influence over human affairs. So you hear like Mercury in retrograde, that would be a bright star that influences human affairs, right? Okay.
Right.
All right. Astrology, also important in Chinese culture. In imperial times, it became standard practice to have a horoscope cast for each newborn child and at all decisive junctures of their life. So like marriage and in death and things like that.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
That's a lot.
Yeah. I think puberty too was also a big like time to have your horoscope, you know, because your life is about to begin, that kind of thing. Okay, so the Copernican system, aka Copernicus, who decided that the world was not the center of the universe,
this is true.
He shattered the geocentric worldview that astrology requires. Okay. And the interest in astrology still has continued. So that was not a huge blow to this philosophy at all.
It's still very much beloved. Yeah.
And it's still widely believed to influence personality, as we will see going forward. So that's kind of a little bit of a history. It was kind of clunky, I'm sorry, but there is a lot to cover there. So
I think it's nice though, because it's so interesting to me, on the same lines of like religions and things like that, how much is borrowed, how much is taken, how much is adjusted to fit the time. And it's great that things like that can morph into something specific to that culture, like China, for example, then integrating it to certain levels of, you know, your life. That's super cool that it can just morph that way.
Yes.
From a simple idea to something that now becomes ritualistic. I love that.
Yes, I agree. It's really interesting. And like I said, there's like a ton of different facets to this. There's so many different avenues you can go down.
Yes.
So we're just keeping it pretty basic today.
Simple. Yeah. Simple. I like
so yes. First and foremost, for us and the listener, we need to figure out what is our sign.
Okay. So, and how would we do that?
So when is your birthday? And then that is how you figure out what your sign is. Right. My birthday is August 1st.
Nice.
And so I am a Leo.
Very cute. Okay.
Kirsten.
Well, I'm December 17, so I am a Sagittarius.
And we'll get into like what that means and all that stuff later.
Right.
But right now I'm just going to read off all of them so that the listener can play along and see. All right. So Aries is first in the astrology calendar. That would be March 20th through April 18th. And Aries is first, which I had to look this up because I didn't know. I was like, why didn't they just start with January?
Right.
But Aries is first because the spring equinox is March 21st. And the zodiac calendar starts with the spring equinox.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. Okay. So, that makes sense.
Yes. Taurus, April 19th through May 20th. Gemini, May 21st through June 20th. Cancer, June 21 through July 22nd. Leo, July 23rd through August 22nd. Virgo, August 23rd through September 22nd. Libra, September 23rd through October 22nd. Scorpio, October 23rd through November 21st. Sagittarius, November 22nd through December 21st. Capricorn, December 22nd through January 19th. Aquarius, January 20th through February 18th. And finally, Pisces, February 19th through March 19th.
You know what I just realized? My whole life, I thought that Chris was a Libra along with all the other ones that like to swarm inside my life. He is actually a Scorpio, which is so him.
That makes total sense, actually.
It's so funny because he's October 23rd, so he hit it right at the start, and I feel like that's just him in every way. Shout out to Chris.
Shout out to Chris. My Chris is a Pisces,
which is cute. Sweet little fish boy.
He's a fish boy.
Like it.
All right.
Wait, what is Philip?
Philip is a Virgo.
Oh, that's right.
Which is shocking to me.
Well, we'll get into the potential
we'll get into
personality.
It. Yeah, we'll get into it. Okay. So in addition to that, there are different like earth, air, water and fire associated with each sign. So
Yes.
you can go all Avatar Airbender
Yes. I
on
was
that
just
if you
thinking
want
that.
to. Um, but yeah, so each sign has an affiliated element as well as an affiliated symbol or animal. Aquarius is air, Pisces is water, Aries is fire,
Mm-hmm.
Taurus is earth, Gemini is air, Cancer is water, Leo is fire, Virgo is earth, Libra is air, Scorpio is water, Sagittarius is fire, and Capricorn is earth. So we're
And
both fire signs.
we are both fire signs. And it also, if anybody likes evenness, there's three of each. So that
There
always
is
makes
three
me
of
super
each.
happy. I'm like, there's three
Yes,
categories for each one.
the
Love it.
math adds up,
It
everybody.
do. The math be mathing real hard. Oh, yes, they're
Um,
animals or symbols
yes, and
too.
then they're animals. Yes. So Aquarius is water bearer, which I'm not sure. I think it's just like
Mm-hmm.
a maiden with like a water bowl type
Indeed.
situation. Pisces is fish,
Mm-hmm.
Aries is a ram, Taurus is a bull, Gemini are celestial twins.
Cute.
Cancer is a crab, Leo is a lion, Virgo is the goddess of agriculture. Libra is to like scales, like the old
Mm-hmm.
fashioned kind. Scorpio is a scorpion, appropriate. And
Yes.
then Sagittarius is an archer, and Capricorn is a sea goat, which is a goat with a fish tail,
Which is
which I
very
think is the
specific.
coolest. Yeah.
It's very specific. And I think like everything else, you're like, yeah, that makes sense. And you're like, yeah, I could see that. And then you get to sea goat and
Yeah.
you're like, interesting. I love
I
it.
love the sea goat. That one's my fave. Shout out to the
Yes.
Capricorns in the
Yes.
audience.
So fun. Oh man.
Okay. So each zodiac sign also is supposed to have like specific traits to their personality. Aries loves to be number one.
Not surprising they are number one.
Yes, they are. That is correct. Bold and ambitious. Aries drives speed headfirst into even the most challenging situations, and they always come out on top. Okay. All right. And then Taurus is most likely to take a 6-hour bath, according to this.
Specifically.
I know. Taurians enjoy relaxing in serene environments, surrounded by soft sounds, soothing aromas. They're typically like very calm and
Mm.
collected. Gemini, spontaneous, playful, adorable, adorably erratic is what this says.
Horrifying.
I know. And then insatiable curiosity.
Nice.
So Cancer, I thought this was an interesting fact. Cancer
Mm.
seamlessly weaves between sea and shore because they're a
Mm-hmm,
crab,
mm-hmm.
representing their ability to exist in both emotional and material realms.
Oh, very
Cancers are
nice.
highly intuitive, and their
Mm.
psychic abilities manifest in tangible spaces.
Wow. You know what? Props to the star crab. I like it.
I know. I know.
Props to the star crab.
So how much do you put into your like
Ooh.
horoscope and stuff like that? Like what level do you believe in this kind of thing?
So that's a tough one because previous to know, and again, we'll talk about this later with our own charts and stuff, but
Yeah.
previous to understanding the full width and understanding that Sagittarius was not the only sign that I'm
Mm-hmm.
physically manifest, and
Yeah.
understanding like which levels influence which parts of the personality. And I think that's where it comes, you know, becomes more tangible. But previous to
Yes.
that, I would say not at all. But
Yeah.
once I started understanding all the different aspects that
Which
could,
we'll get to in a minute, listeners. I
yes, right.
promise.
Once you understand all the different aspects that go into your full sign chart, then you're starting to see, oh, okay, so that makes more sense. That levels out this, that balances this, and it makes so much more sense. So I'm not sitting here saying that my star chart is my identity, but it is interesting to read and identify with certain elements.
I agree.
You know?
I'm on the same page with
Yeah.
you in terms
Yeah.
of that. I think growing up, it was always fun to get like the
Yeah.
Day 14 magazines and like look at my
Yeah.
horoscope and see what was
Yeah.
gonna happen for me this month, like that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's always a fun thing to do. It's like a fortune cookie, kind
Yes.
of thing.
And honestly, ironically, we were more into the Chinese zodiac signs than we were the
Mm-hmm.
star signs. So, like, this is on a tangent real fast, but I'm a rooster on the Chinese zodiac. And
Sure.
I think I think my mom's a dog and Chris is a pig or something, but we got the Beanie Babies in their zodiac collection with
Oh
our
yeah.
specific Chinese zodiac character. And it was like
I've
that was
seen
our
those.
thing. Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
have
yeah,
these
yeah.
somewhere back here. So, but yeah,
Oh,
that's what I would say.
gotcha. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of in the same boat. Like I think it's cool to like identify and like see those
Yes.
things about yourself. But I don't base my life
No,
decisions on
no.
the fact that I'm a Leo or like whatever, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So moving on, Leo is next. Passionate, loyal, and infamously dramatic. Now, we'll get to this, but I don't really think I'm that dramatic, but we'll get to it. We'll get
Okay.
to it. Oh, okay.
We'll get to it. We'll get to
Okay. Okay. All right.
it.
Virgo. Virgos are logical, practical, and
Mhm.
systematic in their approach to life.
Nice. Okay.
Libra, balance, harmony, and justice define Libra energy. Okay.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
and that has a lot to do with like their scales, they're obsessed with symmetry, and they strive to create equilibrium in their area of life.
Nice.
Scorpio, elusive and mysterious. Scorpio is a water sign, which honestly, I assumed Scorpio was a fire sign. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah, I did not know they were a water sign. But anyway,
Huh.
they use emotional energy as
Mm-hmm.
fuel,
Facts.
cultivating powerful wisdom through both the physical and unseen realms.
I am still on this trip with Chris and I'm just absorbing this, just like, yep,
Yeah.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Ah.
All right, Sagittarius. This
Mm.
fire sign knows no bounds. Represented by the archer, Sagittarians are always on a quest for knowledge, which I mean,
Mm.
you're the one who wanted to do this podcast, so I feel like that's accurate.
Facts. Uh,
The last fire sign of the zodiac, Sagittarius launches its many pursuits like blazing arrows, chasing after geographical, intellectual, and spiritual adventures.
cute.
I think so.
I'm adorable.
You are. All right. Capricorn is the last earth sign represented by the sea goat. Shout out to the sea goat.
Again, freaking love it.
Their biggest traits are patience, perseverance,
Perseverance.
perseverance.
Perseverance. I like it.
One of these days, I'm gonna get it right. Okay, and dedication.
Nice.
That's
Nice,
it.
nice, nice. Which, yeah, all of this makes sense, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Aquarius is not a water sign. They are an air sign, which
Yes,
again, I did not
correct.
realize that.
Yes, it's a
Um,
little trippy.
Aquarius is the most humanitarian astrological sign
Mm.
and is dedicated to making the world a better place. Good for
Cute.
them.
Yeah.
All right. And then Pisces. Pisces is the most intuitive, sensitive, and empathetic sign of the entire
Mm.
zodiac.
Cute.
Um, Pisces has absorbed every lesson and the joys and the pain and hopes and fears learned by all the other signs, and it's symbolized by two fish swimming in opposite directions, representing
Mm.
the constant division of Pisces' attention between fantasy and reality.
Ooh, you know what else though? I kind of feel like that's a yin and yang kind of feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
Mm-hmm.
definitely see that with Pisces.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I agree. Okay.
Nice.
So now that we have like a general understanding of all of that,
Yes. Yes.
and we're just going to briefly go through. So we were talking about the other facets of
Yes.
and the other areas. So there's the 12 signs, which are like
Right.
the basic
Mm-hmm.
what everybody knows. But
Mm-hmm.
then in addition to that,
Yes.
you have your sun, moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune and Pluto.
Yes.
And so,
Yes.
and that is based on your birthday and
Mm-hmm.
the time of your birth, where
Mm-hmm.
those planets were in the solar system.
Mm-hmm.
And so you could be, for example, I'm a Leo sun, which is
Mm-hmm.
like my primary
Mm-hmm.
one.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but I'm also a Gemini moon, which
Mm-hmm.
means that wherever the moon was placed in the solar system
Mm-hmm.
when I was born, affects like my emotions, instinct, habitat. So each planet affects a different aspect of your life based on the positioning. Does that make sense? Right.
Makes perfect sense. Yes.
Okay. Wonderful. So the sun usually influences your sense of self, your main concerns as a person, and your vitality. Mm-hmm. The moon is your emotions, instinct, and habits, not habitats.
You're really struggling habitat. Today. Perseverance.
habits.
Oh my God. I love it.
Roasted. All right. Mercury is communication, intellect, reason.
I guess you need some more Mercury.
I do. Today I do. My Mercury is in retrograde.
Oh my God.
All right.
Tell me about Venus, girl.
Venus is love, beauty, and art. Mars, action, desire, and aggression. Jupiter is expansion, optimism, and abundance. Saturn, restriction, pessimism, and structure. Mm-hmm. Uranus is rebellion. Help me out here.
Eccentricity? Eccentricity.
Yes.
You're eccentric is basically
eccentric. Where you're how eccentric you are. Neptune is imagination, dreams, and delusions. Pluto is transformation, obsession, and power. And that is all.
Yeah. Nice.
And then in addition to that, so you got your planets, then you have 12 houses.
Indeed.
And the 12 houses are, how should I explain this?
So I think it just coordinates, like everything else, it just coordinates with your birth cycle. So for example, I believe the Sagittarius house is leading by house 9, and our house is influenced by higher education, travel, religion, philosophy, and publishing and law. So it's what you are most influenced by within your chart. Like, what are the categories of interests that you might have in that house based on your star sign?
Yes.
Yeah.
And this will all make way more sense when we do the examples of the birth charts. Yes. It's like very abstract when you don't have examples.
Yes.
That's a lot of information. I think we should take a little break.
Yeah.
Well, you guys can listen to our husbands do the ad real quick.
Yeah, have a lot of fun.
Hey, we're the husbands of mediocre content. Bringing you an ad segment that's missing, well, an ad.
This is a break brought to you by us because we're the only ones crazy enough to sponsor this thing.
If you'd be interested in sponsoring the Mediocre Content Podcast,
and we understand if you aren't,
contact our mediocre wives at mediocrecontentpodcast@gmail.com.
For now, enjoy this brief break from the podcast before we throw you back into more unimportant,
dare we say, mediocre content.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, everyone. Or us.
So we just spent like 20 minutes trying to figure out our birth charts because
it's confusing.
This is too much. This is a lot.
Look, everything you thought you knew got super combobulated as soon as it was in like a tangible form.
That's it. That's exactly what it is. Okay, so we're just gonna both read our birth charts and go from there, really, and just kind of see how we feel about how accurate it is or how we perceive ourselves. So
and we should preface, I guess, that we're only doing the sun, the moon, and our ascendant signs. So there are others out there that contribute to your chart. So just kind of keep that in mind. These are just the top 3 pieces that people typically gravitate to when trying to figure their chart out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very complex. It's a complex thing.
It really is.
More complex than I realized getting into this episode. That's for sure.
Deeper, deeper, deeper.
Okay. Kirsten, do you want to go first?
I can. Sure. Okay. So just for context, the sun, which is your main sign, determines your ego, identity, and role in life. Role is in quotations. It's the core of who you are, most likely something that you already know, more than likely. So my sun sign is a Sagittarius. It means I'm fundamentally curious, restless, and independent. I find independent funny because I would disagree with that. You have strong thought through ideas about meaning and what's right or wrong, interested in pushing the boundaries of the extent, excuse me. You live to be free and to learn. So in this case, having Sagittarius sun in my quote 7th house means that I feel the need to distinguish myself from others through close relationships and long-term partnerships. So I would say it's pretty accurate.
Fun. Yeah, I would say that sounds like you.
Yeah. Do you want to read your sun sign?
Sure. So my sun is in Leo, meaning that I am fundamentally bold and proud. I love attention and to be cared for, and I pay it in kind with my charm and ability to make people feel better when they're sad.
Aw.
You know what your skills are and you know how to use them.
Nice.
It is in my fourth house, meaning I feel the need to distinguish myself from others through home and family.
Cute. That's so wholesome. I love it.
Yeah. I think so.
Very nice. Okay, moving into moon. I am a moon Aquarius. The moon in general rules your emotions, moods, and feelings. This is likely the sign you most think of yourself as. So this is more as an internal reflection for your moon sign. So mine is Aquarius, meaning I'm emotional. My emotional self is intuitive, observant, detached, and rational. I'm often in my own world and scared of how I truly feel. This is in my 9th house, meaning I find security and safety through philosophy, faith, education, and politics. And I would say that is very accurate for my internal self. I will try to logic my way through any emotion.
Yeah.
Even if I'm feeling it, it's very obvious that I'm feeling it. I will try to logic it away, which is kind of unhealthy. So just take that in stride. Other Aquarius moons, we feel each other. We're just very discreet about it. Anyway, your moon sign.
Right. So I am a Gemini moon. My emotional self is often restless and unsettled. Accurate. I am extremely adaptable, which sometimes makes me feel pulled in too many directions. Accurate. I am easily bored and need to feel like I am free to be creative and create meaning. Accurate.
Nice.
And this can make me feel like I'm having a constant identity crisis. Also accurate.
Constantly troubled. I love it.
It is in my 2nd house, meaning that I find security and safety through money and material possessions.
Interesting. Do you feel that way though?
I mean, I've been working since I was 15. Like I've always wanted to make a living and feel comfortable. I've never been one of those people who can be like, oh, well, we'll just figure it out.
Yeah.
No, I've always had to have like a concrete source of income or something, you know?
Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, now we're getting into the ascendant sign. Ascendant is the quote mask you present to people. So just again, sun is like your outward expression, moon is your internal feelings, ascendant is what other people are presented with when you encounter them.
This I'm excited about.
Continue. Yes. So I am a Gemini ascendant. It changes. This is the thing though. It can change. So I'm going to say this with the pretext that it is a little transient and some people say a little less reliable as you get older. I digress.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So I'm an ascendant Gemini, meaning I come across as quick-witted, chatty, eclectic, and fun, though somewhat inconsistent. In conversation, I seem probing and curious. And I would say that's pretty true. Would you?
Thinking of the time when I first met you.
Oh dear. Oh gosh.
I would say yeah. I would say yeah.
Yeah. It's
very friendly, very like you did not hesitate to be like, oh, come over and like hang out and come meet my parents and da 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 da. Like you were very like, I was immersed in the world of Kirsten very quickly,
including the chromosome mustaches, I'm sure, which was just a
Yes.
throwback.
That's the eclectic part.
You can make a mustache out of anything.
That's it. That's it.
It is
Yeah.
pretty accurate. What about you? What you got?
Okay. Hold on. My phone died. Hold on. Here we go. Okay.
Professional.
So, all right. So let's see. Yeah. So my Taurus rising. So
Okay.
ascendant is Taurus. Meaning I come across as highly attuned to practical and material matters, especially especially pleasure and hedonism. I don't know.
Either.
But that same materiality gives people the impression that you are reliable, settled, sensible, and deliberate, though sometimes stubborn.
Okay.
Which honestly, I feel like when I start a new job or like when I think about like my nursing career, a lot of people have called me like reliable and very practical, sensible, very calm.
Yeah.
You know, not doesn't get shooken up by a lot of things. So I feel like that's kind of accurate. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very practical. I think I would say, or at least I try to present that to people. I don't know.
I would say that is very true. You definitely give off the air that you've got it together and that you're making very direct and certain decisions. And so I think that 100% comes off.
Just
which
so
is
you
a
know,
compliment.
guys, I don't have it together.
I just want to be very transparent. It is a mask. That is what the ascendant is for. This is what you get. You don't get my moon sign.
Struggling just like everyone else. It's fine.
It's okay. She's got the look. She got 3 looks.
3 looks.
I love it.
Yes.
Oh man. So, would you like to talk about our happy, neutral, and sad compatibility faces?
Yes. Oh my gosh. So Kirsten and I used this app called CoStar, not sponsored. Nope. And that's how we're getting this information about our birth charts and stuff. But we also added each other as friends on CoStar. And so now it has told us if we're compatible as friends, which I mean, so we kind of played ourselves like if we weren't compatible. I feel like I don't know, we'd probably have to reevaluate all of our life choices and everything, you know.
Facts.
Just kidding, not really. But like it would have actually, I kind of wish it did say that we were not compatible, because then we would be like, well, that's wrong. And
that is wrong. Funny. Yeah, ironically, both our sun and our moon signs are both compatible.
Yes.
I love it.
So okay, so basically Sagittarius and Leo, our sun signs, are very compatible, which is cool. Our moons, Aquarius and Gemini, are compatible. So basically our basic identities and moods and emotions are compatible. And then our philosophies of life are both Scorpios, which we didn't get into, but those are both compatible as well.
Yeah, because a Scorpio loves a good Scorpio.
Yes. Mesh. The other ones that are which are a little bit less compatible, I guess, based on this. Intellect and communication, Sagittarius and Cancer, not as compatible. Senses of responsibility, Aquarius and Pisces, not as compatible. So yeah, but like that's still good. Like it is. I feel like that's really good.
Yeah, I would agree. And then it does talk, like, again, if you want, not sponsored, but if you do want to download CoStar, that's CO-STAR, it is an application. I think you could probably get it for Android too, but we both have iPhones, so, you know, search on your Google apps, but it will also go into and describe the compatibility underneath this little happy, neutral, sad chart and really get into the nitty gritty of why or why not. So it's kind of cool to read.
I'm going to read really quick our sun sign compatibility because I think it's cute.
Okay.
So Leo and Sagittarius. This is a pairing full of excitement and optimism. You share similar approaches to life. You are both adventurous, outgoing, and fun-loving. Together, you are the life of the party and a never-ending collection of stories to tell, which is great because we have a podcast.
How convenient.
So oh my God.
Like it was meant to be. I love it. It's written in the stars.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
That's a good one.
Here we go.
Here we go. Right. We needed more puns.
We needed more puns. That's what we're missing.
Yeah.
You can both be attention hogs, so make an effort to share the spotlight. Good advice. Good to know.
Good.
You both you may burst into dramatic arguments from time to time, but
this is also true.
But neither of you are particularly prone to grudges, so the storm is usually a quick blowover.
It is so true. It's all in good fun.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
I love it. I literally love it.
Yeah. So this is fun. I like that.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
No, this is very fun.
Okay. Anything else you want to do with the CoStar app? Because I feel like we've covered a lot.
I think that's good. It's just the topsoil layer. So again, do your own research, have fun with it. If you want to tell us, what your sign was, or if you had compatibility with your friends or family, we'll tell you how to connect with us and give us that info. We'd love to hear it.
Yeah. And we, like I said earlier, we might do a part 2 too, just depending.
Yeah.
Because there's like so many different things to talk about.
So much. Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to go on to memes because that's my favorite part of the internet. And so we're going to I have 2 sets of memes here.
Okay.
And we're going to do our best to describe these because I recognize that memes are not exactly the easiest thing to do on a podcast because
delivery is difficult.
Yes. Okay. So there's 2 sets. The first one is for people who kind of feel like astrology is bullshit.
For lack of a better word.
For lack of a better term. And the other one is for people who are fully immersed in the stereotypes of each personality of each sign. Nice. So,
okay.
All right. So for the non-believers.
Shame the non-believer.
I hate it when people use their zodiac signs to justify their crappy behavior. Like, sorry, I can't help it. I'm a Scorpio. No, Susan, you're just a bitch.
And just for context, this is Kermit the Frog giving that face, okay? If you don't know what it is, just type in Kermit the Frog meme and you'll forever be happy.
Yes.
It's golden.
All right. So this is a picture of a guy and a girl talking in like an office setting. And she's like, so what's your zodiac sign? And he's like, dinosaur. And she says, that one doesn't even exist. And he's like, none of them exist.
Oh, dang.
Burn.
So rude. Can you imagine being in the office and having that conversation? And it's just like, first of all, you didn't need to shut her down that fast.
Rude. Yeah, I know.
Maybe she thought she was, asking you out,
Yeah. If you guys hear any meowing in the background, that would be my cat.
He just wants to be part of it.
He just wants to be part of it. Okay. So this is a picture of a girl in her car, and there's an officer that pulled her over, and he's at the window, and she says, it's not my fault, officer. I'm a Gemini. Geminis are always in a hurry. And the cop goes, wow, that's crazy. I'm a Libra, which means I don't care. Here's your ticket.
It's all about balance. Oh my gosh.
Oh, this one's good. This one's like some dark humor for my people who like dark humor. Okay.
Dark humor.
All right. So that's a picture of a woman sitting on like an examination table, and the doctor is holding a clipboard. And the doctor says, what's your zodiac sign? And the woman's like, Cancer. And he's like, what a coincidence.
Oh, it's so cringy. Oh, I feel bad that I want to laugh at it because it is funny, but it's also not. Dark humor for the win.
Yikes.
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 But There are some for the believers, right? Because
Yeah,
these all
there is.
seem to
I'm
be
gonna
really
do-
harping on the non-believers here.
I love it. I love it so much. It's so funny. Okay. All right. I'll do a couple more and then we'll switch.
Okay.
So, horoscope says you're probably breathing right now, people. And then it's the shocked Pikachu face.
That one gets me because I love the Pikachu memes.
Yeah.
I love that one. Wow. That should say fortune teller, though, to be fair.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Anyway.
Me. I hate astrology. Horoscope. You're beautiful. Me. And then it's like a person getting all teary-eyed. Being like, oh my God.
My insecurities were instantly erased.
Right.
I like it. Oh, that is a weird neck thing he's got going on. What is he wearing? What did they call those? It's not cravat, is it?
Oh, what? Where are you at?
What do you mean?
I'm not I skipped the old painting one.
Oh, God, scroll back up to the guy with the weird neck thing.
It's like a neck tutu.
So we're probably going to put these in our description for the links to find these. So if you just want a good, a nice Renaissance looking man, go to number 7 on the
with
non-believers.
With
his neck tutu. Very classy. It's a full
Very
support.
Classy. All right, last one.
Yeah, what you got?
When the person you're into doesn't tell you that your son, or wait, hold on. Let me try again.
Delivery was A+.
Excuse me.
Cut.
When the cut.
Guess we're using that one.
Getting it together.
Oh man.
All right.
Last one.
When the person you like is into astrology and they tell you that your signs don't match, and it's Leonardo DiCaprio in a field saying, "I defy you, stars."
That's so dramatic.
It's very dramatic.
Very Leo behavior.
You know? He is a Leo. I'm just saying. Very dramatic.
Oh man. Oh good. Okay.
Okay.
Enough of the non-believers. We don't subscribe to them.
All right. Do you want to do some of the ones for the believers?
I feel like your delivery is so much better than mine would be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
Nice.
You're welcome.
All right. Okay. So now we have a picture of the Powerpuff Girls sleeping.
We're sleeping together.
And the fire signs. So the caption says, "Fire signs sleeping peacefully after a long day of being dramatic and arguing with everyone." And it's Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius all
it's
just sleeping.
Me, Mario. At least they put me as Bubbles. They gave you Blossom. That's pretty good.
Well, Blossom, that makes sense. Blossom's like the leader.
Well, but Aries is number 1. I think they got it out of order.
Oh, that's true. But Leo is the one that's usually like the most.
That's fair.
Like,
yes.
Aries is just like crazy.
Yeah. She cry. She Buttercup for show.
Which is why she's Buttercup. Yeah, exactly.
I'm the nicest of the 3, but that still doesn't give me a lot of wiggle room.
No.
Oh man.
All right. This next one is a picture of a woman in the 80s with like really cute sunglasses on and a red lip with a cigarette in between her fingers. And so the caption says, "No one could have predicted this." And then astrology girls. And the astrology girls is the picture of the woman with her cigarette. Like, we predicted this. We know
definitely
what's going on.
She's just chilling on the sidelines observing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, love it.
She knows.
Ooh.
Okay.
Let's
no.
See. These are actually really good.
All right. Which hits harder, a Monday or a Mercury in retrograde? And the photo is of a woman who looks like has been in a severe
brawl
event some
she
kind.
has been tested.
Some kind of like car crash, also smoking a cigarette, but she's got like blood coming down her face and her hair is a hot mess.
Having a long day.
And it says actual photo of me emerging out of Mercury in retrograde.
It's
true. Rough. It's rough for all of us. It really is.
Mm.
Let's
I
see.
like this. This isn't really a meme.
Okay, so this one is a list of all the different signs, and it says favorite rule for them to break.
So cute. So
Aries is knock before barging in. They don't like to do that.
Oh,
Taurus, no repeating outfits. Gemini, don't date your friend's ex.
That's kind of a habit you should be in already.
Right.
I don't think that's something you should break.
That's extreme.
Dang.
Cancer is their own boundaries. Oh, Cancer.
You poor little star crab.
I know. Leo's favorite rule to break is no wearing white after Labor Day. That's lame. I don't like that at all.
These are facts.
All right. Virgo's favorite rule is chaos theory.
Okay. I don't know what chaos
like
theory
super is. They're super organized and like they have to have things all together.
Fair. Okay.
I think that's what it is. Libra's favorite rule to break are NDAs, which is non-disclosure agreements. Yikes.
These are facts, and I know at least 2 of them to back it up.
Oh God.
Minimum.
Scorpios is don't mix work and pleasure. All right.
Scorpio.
That's
Chris. Be careful.
Sagittarius is no quadruple texting. That's cute.
Yeah.
I would not mind that. I mean, when I receive multiple texts from you, I'm not mad.
You know what's funny though? I actually get mad at other people for doing that.
Oh, really?
Ironically, like if you text me and then you continue a conversation with yourself 30 texts later, I'm like, nah, you done.
You're done.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
All right. Capricorn's favorite rule to break is anything unspoken or unwritten.
Ooh, loophole.
Yeah.
Like it. Sea goats. For the win.
All right. Aquarius is don't leave without saying goodbye.
Oh, Aquarius,
they about to leave without saying goodbye all the time.
So rude.
That is rude. That would get and then Pisces. Okay, I have lots to say about this.
Oh boy.
Pisces' favorite rule to break is gravity and the laws of physics. Can we talk about how my husband is a Pisces and he's like in mechanical engineering in school and like loves to talk about this.
It fits so good.
He loves gravity.
See,
he loves gravity.
This is exactly why I can't fully say it does not contribute to your personality, because even if I'm not into it, these are still true. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's hilarious. I love that. Good
it's fun. Or is it just the power of suggestion and we're just like associating it with the people randomly?
I mean, maybe, but I would argue that I can say for myself, like, Libras, no non-disclosure agreements. Okay, so I know that they love to chat about things and disclose things, and then they're like, oh well, but just don't tell anyone else.
Right.
Like, or just maybe don't tell me. Would be a good start, but it's okay. That's why we're here as a sounding board.
So this one is a fun one because it's not really about the individual signs, but it's a Tumblr post, it looks like, and it says the moon is proud of you and so are the stars and so is the sun. The aliens are watching you, a little confused about your life choices, but are also proud of you.
I mean, at least they're proud.
Yeah,
cute little humans.
That was cute. So this one is that picture of the koala with the little soda in front of him. And it says, can you please give me some advice? How are you surviving all these 5D light codes, retrogrades, eclipses, and crazy shifts in energy? Me. and it's me, and it says I have to rest for 20 hours a day, and it's the picture of the koala.
Gosh. I wish. Are you kidding?
I know.
I wish.
Koalas, aren't they like drunk all the time though? They have like the eucalyptus leaves or whatever, and they're just drunk all the time.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a thing. Anyone?
Eucalyptus makes you drunk?
Hold on. Hold on.
Wait
Mild tangent here. Hold on.
Okay,
I need to know,
tangent.
What do koalas eat, first of all?
Let's start there. Oh man. Drunk koalas.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm not crazy. All right. So koalas eat eucalyptus leaves. All right. And the chemical reaction in koalas and between the koalas and the eucalyptus leaves, it makes them drunk all the time.
Follow-up question. Does that mean if you hang the eucalyptus in your shower and shower with the eucalyptus, does that mean you're not really relaxed? You're just slightly drunk?
No.
Okay.
Because it doesn't affect humans the same way.
Are you sure?
It's just a koala thing.
Start absorbing it through the skin and
Pinky promise.
Okay. Promise. I mean, I don't do that. I was just curious.
All right. We should do one more.
Okay.
One more.
Pick your favorite.
All right. Oh, my cat just jumped on the thing.
I would like to invite myself to this podcast.
My God. Okay. All right. Ooh, this one's good. Okay. All right. So it's a picture. It's two pictures, one on top of the other, both of which are Elmo and some fruit. And the fruit is labeled taking responsibility for my actions. Elmo is labeled me, and he's in the middle. And then there's a clump of white powder, which, I mean, you deduce your own thoughts about this. So it says
Elmo.
Taking responsibility for my actions, or the white powder is labeled blaming everything on my zodiac sign. And then the second picture is Elmo face planting into the white powder.
Topical.
Elmo blames everything on his zodiac sign.
Clearly so. These are fantastic.
All right.
And like I said, we'll post them in the description. There's tons more on the believer and non-believer side. So we'll just make sure you have access to them so you can laugh on your own time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that all you have?
That's all I got. Yeah, that's all I got. So I think we should wrap this up.
I think so. So with
Salem
all this
needs my attention, clearly.
He's such a needy boy.
All right, let's wrap this up because clearly my cat needs me.
Yeah, he definitely is feeling a little neglected. So we'll just wrap it on up. As always, if you want to send us anything, including your star sign results, we'd love to see them. You can send it over to mediocrecontentpodcast@gmail.com or send us a tweet at mediocresquawks.
As always, a special thank you to our husbands for providing our non-ad, and to my cat for putting in their audio, whether it was wanted or not.
Facts.
And we will see you guys next time.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.